Thank you very much for participating in this survey. The aim of the first task is to prioritize the BBS strengthening messages by pooling together the opinions of multiple experts. Your role is to identify the messages which are more effective in preventing the collapse of wooden dwellings exposed to extreme winds. If you have any questions regarding this task, please do not hesitate to contact Dr. Anu in the email provided. The focus here is on coconut lumber timber frame houses. This is a typical building type in the Philippines. Your responses in Task 1 should be based on the performance of a generic building depicted in the figure. Please take a minute to study its structural system. Wooden dwellings were found to be the most vulnerable during the 2013 Haiyan typhoon in the Philippines. They were found to sustain various damage levels which increased with the intensity of the wind. Shelter produced guidance aiming to reduce the risk of the wooden dwellings to life safety. Shelter's guidance includes 8 main Build Back Safer key messages. The messages range from strengthening techniques, guidance on the optimum location of the building, and practical advice on how the residents can prepare in the event of a strong wind event. Each key message is subdivided into multiple sub-messages. This study considers only the 5 key messages, focusing on how to strengthen the dwellings by reinforcing its structural components. Overall, 17 sub-messages are considered. Your task is to identify which messages are more effective in preventing the collapse of a wooden dwelling exposed to extreme wind. Your responses should be based on 2 assumptions. You are responsible for making the decisions on upgrading the dwelling. You should ignore the cost and available technical skills, as at this stage we are interested in prioritizing the messages according to how much they improve the performance of the structure in an ideal context, irrespective of how realistic it is to be selected in the field due to various constraints. A structured expert elicitation technique, termed paired comparison, is used to gather your responses. The technique is simple. Assume that the question is, what ice cream flavor do you prefer? Let's assume that we are interested in only 4 flavors: vanilla, lemon, chocolate, strawberry. The flavors are placed in a table. You are invited to compare the flavor in each row to its alternatives of the different columns and record your opinion on whether you prefer one over the other or both. For example, you can prefer vanilla to lemon. Similarly, you can prefer chocolate to vanilla. Finally, you can be indifferent to vanilla and strawberry, in which case you can prefer both. Please bear in mind that we are interested to order the flavors according to their degree of preference. For this reason, please avoid to select both available flavors unless you are truly indifferent. In this study, the table with all the possible comparisons would be large, with 17 rows and 17 columns, and would contain 136 unique comparisons. To simplify the procedure and save you time, Task 1 is subdivided into 16 sections. In each section, the message in a given row is compared to its alternative messages. An example comparison of 2 messages is provided. You should tick the left box if you consider message 1 more effective than message 2. Instead, you should tick the right box if you consider message 2 more effective than message 1. You can tick both boxes if you think that both messages are equally effective. Please use this option as rarely as possible. Thank you very much for listening the instructions. We are looking forward to receiving your responses.